And Kenya Airways has bounced back to profitability, ending an 11-year loss streak, posting a net income of 513 million shillings for the period to June 2024 and reversing a loss of 21.7 billion shillings at the same time last year. But despite the good financial run, KQ now faces the task of repaying an 82.7 billion shilling loan, at current exchange rates, guaranteed by the government of Kenya. NTV's, Brian George has more on that story.
In March this year, the National Treasury paid $109 million to the American Exim Bank to save Kenya Airways from bankruptcy proceedings after the national carrier defaulted on $841.6 million loan from the Washington-based lender in the 2021-2022 financial year. On Monday, the airline revealed that despite the full guarantee of the loan by the government, they still need to pay. However, the airline reveals that the government's takeover of the loan and its denomination to Kenya shillings has eased up forex pressures at the airline and reduced exposures to currency fluctuations.
This was the biggest loan in our books, and hence any movement in dollar, strengthening or weakening of the dollar, had a significant impact on KQ financials. So once this debt was taken over by GOK and converted into a Kenya shilling loan, then that reduces the exposure from an FX perspective. So it supports us from a cash flow perspective. However, we do pay interest, which is equivalent to the same interest that GOK is paying to the external lender.
The strategy, KQ says, hopes will help it reduce debt levels and ramp up capital, even as it plans to activate its counter at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. KQ's debt-to-equity ratio is 1:13, an imbalance it hopes to turn around for expansion.
From a financial injection perspective, this 2024, we did not receive any funding from government this year. But like Helen has explained, the loan that government took over from us, but that was in 2022, and therefore paying directly to the lender, and then we on-pay to them. That is ongoing.
This even as the national flag carrier recorded its first profit in 11 years, in a turnaround that recorded a 513 million shillings profit after tax, compared to a net loss of 21.7 billion shillings it recorded in the same period under review last year, 2023. The airline attributes this growth to passenger business, as cargo business grows relatively slower. Likewise, the airline's operating profit grew 30% to 1.2 billion shillings compared to 998 million shillings operating profit in 2023. And in its turnaround plan, KQ says it's actively shopping for a strategic equity investor, one whom it remains tight-lipped about, only disclosing the deal will be finalized by December this year. Brian George, Otieno, NTV, Nairobi.
You will soon have to pay for a reverse call, as Safaricom has slapped users of the free call service with a 0.50 cent daily charge as the telco moves in to cut freebies and drive revenues. Safaricom limited reverse calls to 2 in a day, with a third one attracting a flat charge of 50 cents, enabling it to earn revenue from those who have been calling at the expense of those receiving their calls. Well, this 50-cent charge will see Safaricom take at least 1 million shillings a day from reverse calls, going by the 2 million subscribers whom it said have been joyriding. Safaricom introduced the reverse call option 5 years ago, enabling a subscriber to call for free by transferring the cost of the call to the receiver. And the government